when it's available. So there it is once again. And it's going to be a blue bar, sunrise bar, first defense. So you could say one of the better sides at the moment, because it used to be like Clubhouse. Penthouse used to be the main side to go for, but now with the Ying, Dokkaebi, Glass, all the good operators, you actually want to go for different sides. So this is not surprised that they start from the pink bar and blue bar.
Yeah, and of course you see the Lion coming out. Julio will bring his favorite shield operator as well to the fun, so that will really be something and a sight to behold. You've got the fragging potential of the Ashe as well as the Sledge. You've got a Blitz, and then you've got Lion to keep everybody pinned down. It is going to be a massacre if they can use it and it doesn't get countered correctly by Fnatic.
It's a really scary moment to be when Lion pops out and you can hear the Blitz running towards you. And it's do you escape and get popped from through the walls, or do you actually want to try to fight the Blitz? But yeah, there's two maps. Julio likes to play the Blitz. This is the one of them, and the other one is Oregon. So no surprise that he's actually bringing out the Blitz. And yeah, there goes the side pop up. We have Echo again with the shorty. In this side, kind of makes sense because you have the close range to fight when you play the bar table area in Sunrise, and there is the smoke in the corners, so the rest of the guys are most likely going to be playing from the upstairs, because you really want to hold the upstairs hookah area and also the pool table area so that the enemy team doesn't get the angles towards you from there.
And your suspicion that we would see a Ying right away, or at least in general we'll have to hold off. You've got the Lion fulfilling that more disruption, confusion style of role that the Ying would usually have. And it'll free up Psycho to just play Ashe though too. And I mean, yeah, obviously the way you play around a Glaz strategy is totally different, but Psycho on Ashe is still a pretty frightening thing.
Yeah, exactly. And here we see NIP taking the VIP area first. We will have PCD taking the first kill to Magnet to the pool table. Really nice shot from the PCD. Magnet was trying to shoot the VIP area with a spray fire, so PCD just returned to fire and got the kill. I would think Sledge will take the wall. Wall down from the NIP and hold the angle towards the pool table from now. But this is actually a really nice push from the NIP, because usually teams, when you see them play the Coastline and attack this bump site, they go from the aquarium and then push to the pool table and to the hookah. But the NIP first took the VIP area, then the penthouse, and then they went to the luggage and to the aquarium. So they will have the map control of the top floor pretty much to themselves. And they know that they're not going to get flanked, so really nice attack.
And
so far.
Right now, Rizraz was playing on those cool vibe stairs. He also had the mute jammer not too far off of him, and there's an echo drone positioned above. You'll see PZD and Julio will try to take some of that ground away from Fnatic as the EE1D keeps everyone from moving on defense, but Julio will peel off. Rizraz, who was playing on cool vibe stairs, has worked his way back to site, and that's good clock management for Fnatic. All they lost was Magnet, so it's imperative that they try to consolidate on site. You've done an okay job of wearing down the clock. You lost somebody, which is obviously a detriment, but you need to ensure that when this push happens, that you're there. Julio will go for the flash onto the smoke, and the gas grenade will get tossed at the feet of Blitz, who you can see Ace is losing a lot of health. The sign of Kamikaze's gun going off, but a grenade from PZD will sail right in. No ADS. Looks like another will go in onto Lusty. He'll be detected, but he'll have to use one of his smoke grenades. Kamikaze will get one, Psycho another, and this is all ninjas in pajamas as PZD shuts down Lusty, and Nip will take round number 1.
Nice execution from an NIP. First take the map control, then execute to the side. Have the top floor control. Don't then allow any flanks to come out from an NIP. Have the guy on garden to watch out the blue area, and then just pour all the guys to the side and kill the defenders. Really nice execution from an NIP. And we go to the next round, which is now Penthouse Theater. So the old go-to side from Fnatic.
I was pretty certain Valkyrie was banned. Was I wrong?
Valkyrie was banned.
Yeah, and there we go. So it was Fnatic who actually banned Valkyrie. So may need a change. May need a change. So we'll probably see us on the monitor here. At least it'll give, I mean, this kind of thing does at least give some room for the teams to at least communicate with each other, as it's not exactly a tactical pause, but they at least get some more time as the game gets set back up. And honestly, like, as you mentioned about Magnet, you need to make sure that there's somebody there to keep guiding that team. And the way that they played that final round on Clubhouse, round number 9, with Magnet staring at the wall, probably giving his team instructions, etc., it killed about 20 to 30 seconds of the clock in that round in particular, just trying to figure out, what do we do next? Yeah. They need to ensure that they're managing their emotion levels and all that sort of deal, because so much of it can get in your head, and it really begins to affect your gameplay.
Why do you think I always die first? So that I can micromanage my team.
Is that why?
Yeah. You go in and can you shoot me so I can actually manage my team?
I mean, it's a sound strategy, I guess. You're basically admitting that you're giving your team a permanent 4v5, so that's okay. This is an IGL. He captains a team. I was gonna make a joke, but I'm not gonna make a joke.
Easy friends.
I was gonna make a joke. I'm not gonna make the joke.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make the joke. Jokes make themselves. Jokes make themselves.
But if you die as a first member as an IGL, like Magnet did in the last round, first one to die, it usually means that, okay, you might get tilted if it was like something that you didn't like to.
Right.
You felt like you get outplayed, or your position was poor, so you might be angry to yourself, but you need to put that aside and start instantly to manage your team, because you're dead. You can see all the camps, you can see all the pubs of the players, so that's actually a good place to be as an IGL. Dead. Sounds weird, but you can actually... No,
I think you're saying that, you've been handed, obviously you don't want to die, but I mean, if your IGL is going to die first, then that's an advantageous position to be in, because then you can kind of look over everything and make the decisions and adjustments, which can be more difficult when you're still an active player trying to manage yourself and the position you're in.
Exactly. When you see everything, you can make those calls that, okay, you move here, you watch that, and you watch that one. You flank from here, and wait, okay, you are there. Just wait 10 seconds and then come, because the push is going to come soon. So there's a lot more room in your head to think about all these possibilities when you don't need to concentrate your own game. So yeah, I would say if there's one guy to die first, the IGL is the best one to die first.
For Fnatic, if you can look, they don't look particularly happy, which is fine, which is to be expected of. But they're a very emotional team. We know this. We know how they got in their own heads at Atlantic City. It led to a very quick downfall against Team Liquid, and that game really snowballed and got out of reach quite fast. So the bans should be set up appropriately. We'll head to round number 2. Of course, Ninjas in Pyjamas had banned Blackbeard, and Mira and Fnatic had banned Glaz and Valkyrie. And that seems to all be sorted and in working order.
Yeah. Finally, we have the proper operators, and we see the penthouse theater side against, because you cannot change that.
But combination and in conjunction with the Maestro, it is a bit puzzling to see us go through now 2 maps with neither one of those operators get hit with the ban.
No 6 picks from NIP, so maybe they're confident with the lineup, or they just want to make some brain games with mind games with their opponent. But we will see the Maestro. I personally really like Maestro on this side, because you can actually deny those breach-charges quite well with the Evil Eye. You can hide the Evil Eye in so many locations to shoot the termite charges. Like, they are reinforcing the VIP wall, so it looks like they want to deny the opening of that wall. So personally, I would like to see one Maestro cam inside of the VIP, maybe hidden, maybe not, but that's one way to deny the opening of that. And the one Evil Eye is watching the big window, which is pretty crucial, because there's almost always one guy rappelling there.
Right. So for Fnatic, trying to stop the bleeding, as they haven't had the best day for their team thus far. Nip playing like old Nip, which is nice to see, because it has been a while since I think we've seen the prowess of this team. I don't know, like you said earlier on, I don't know if it was necessarily because it's a best-of-1 system. I don't know if maybe, the team just has been outpaced by, improvements from other teams. It's always hard to tell, but I think you can certainly say that this team is not the team that competed at the Invitational. This is not the same team that we saw compete in Sao Paulo in terms of their success.
Yeah, exactly. And I would say they are a LAN team. So
Yes.
also on the Brazilian league at the moment, they play online the play games, right?
Every single game is played in a LAN setup, yes.
Still.
The BR6? BR6, they play, in BR6, they do play against opponents in person, yes.
Yeah, okay.
And to the best of my knowledge, they are currently sitting in the top 4. Unfortunately, I do not keep up to date with BR6, so I suppose as much as I really should. But I believe they are one of the top 4 teams that will be competing in the playoffs as well.
Yeah.
And have done better there. And yeah, the best of 1 series is very difficult for us to then turn to best of 3s and really try to draw some, comparisons, because best of 1s just play so differently in terms of operator bans, in terms of map bans, in terms of preparation, and especially for teams that, if you have a bad day, that's it, it's done. You don't have an opportunity to have a second bad map.
Yeah, and you don't have time to adjust.
Right.
If enemy team has some new tricks under their sleeve, you really don't have time to adjust to that. Or if they usually play passive and they suddenly start to play aggressive, it can actually caught you off guard because you don't have the time to adjust.
Right.
So maybe that's one of the reasons why NIP is at the 7th place in the LATAM Pro League at the moment. But here we see the wall to the mastery open from the VIP, so no denial for that.
And you were mentioning NIP in particular, and they've managed to open up with some vertical pressure. Julio will wade into the Hall of Fame. Lion's Gadget will roar, and a smoke will go onto Big Window, which is where PZD was repelled. But we have gone through most of this round at this point. Psycho has managed to get to the top of stairs. He'll miss the Jaeger, but he will finally get him as that's Magnet going down. Rizraz eliminating PZD. Psycho getting so close. Good reflexes. Wasn't good enough to start with, but we're at a 4v4. Neofighter from just behind the bed will toss out his C4, but now Psycho working his way towards Theater. Of course, the Maestro playing behind a deployable shield will deny Psycho the ability to get a kill, and that's Aces who will now push, but I think he is aware that there is a Lion Gadget. Kamikaze will get one, but Aces through the wall, finishing off Psycho. Kamikaze deeply in sight. What is going on? Kamikaze will take out Neofighter, but all they need to do if you're Fnatic is survive. Listen to the BGs staying alive, and the defenders will win. So Fnatic will put their first round on the board in over half an hour here. That's what they need in order to stay in this game.
Yeah, and it came down again to the NIP's inability to take the control over the map. Like, they pushed the guys to the master bedroom, to the toilet, and the B-bomb side, but they didn't have guys to kill those rotations. Like, why is the toilet hatch still closed?
Right.
To allow the smoke to play there. If you have a smoke there, he has a shotgun to hold the door right next to him. That's like the easiest kill for him. You need to open the hatch from the toilet, have one guy there, so once you finally go for the push, he drops down there, denies the smoke to play there all that time, so the only place he can play is close to the window, or at the master bedroom, or they need to play all the way from the B-bomb side. So, yeah, you need to open up more lines of side to the side to actually push the enemies where you want them to be, and then execute to the side.
Fnatic will now head back to the double bar scenario, which we saw last time around was all NIP the whole way through, and part of that was Fnatic's inability to hold that second floor. They didn't really get much. They lost a pick early on, and then when they had to collapse on the site, they then got collapsed upon with the Lion and Blitz combo, which is not going to be there for NIP this time around. They're going to, of course, be bringing the Lion yet again. Kamikaze running the Lion setup. Psycho will just stay on Ashe. They've taken his glass away. He's just going to play on the Ashe. And you'll have Julio play on Zofia, which means that there's going to be a lot of disruption and utility coming from NIP at the moment.
Personally, I like it that you don't play the Blitz all the time, because enemies will know that the Blitz is coming, so they might adjust it, try to kill it with multiple people, or throw C4 or something. Oh, looks like a rush. It's going to be a rush. Psycho is already in, kills the Echo, easy kills, second kill Smokestars as well. So he's right there, there's no one to hold this push.
20 seconds, and they're in, but Rizraz will answer back. Do they have complete control? Psycho will get one, Magnet will trade it off, and Magnet with another. The Legion just unprovoked. Diffuser goes down, and Wog will watch. PZD will get a kill of his own, and Neofighter, last man standing, but he's getting pinged. He knows the marks. He gets the down on Vog, and PZD is last man left. Vog will not be provided an opportunity to be a living drone, as he will get taken out himself, but PZD is there to close it out, and that round was over before it even started. The Zofia Ashe combo to blow open the castle barricades combined with the EE1D. Nothing Fnatic could do there at all except wait to die, and Nip will regain the lead.
Pop out the Lion ability and then rush in. Old way. Gotta go fast, man.
You gotta go fast indeed, and that is exactly what happened. That is I feel like that's peak Latin America. We see it in Latin America so many times, especially on Oregon. You'll see Lion, think possible shield rushes through construction, and it is really a sight to behold.
Yeah. But that's actually working because most of the time when you play that side, you need to hold the top floor. So you have 3 people there, 1 people in blue, 1 people in pink. So if you rush the pink with 5 guys, it's 1 versus 5. So you're really likely going to kill that guy and get the blend down. So kinda, I can see the idea behind that from the NIP, but you have the echo there to get the information that the rush is coming. So the rotations must be faster at that point. And also, there was no holes from the above. You need to have the holes from the above to actually shoot the guys that are rushing in, because if you have guys playing from the upstairs, you're holding it, you need to have some way for them to actually be part of the defense if the enemy's not going for them.
I'm not even certain if they had finished their setup by the time that rush had happened. They could have possibly still been tinkering above with what they wanted as the clock hit 0 and Nip was in.
That's actually a thing I used to do quite a lot for my team. When I watch the VODs of my opponents, I watch how long does it take for them to set the side up. Because there's Secret is actually a good example. They have one of the slowest setups for most sides in EU. So you can there are maps where you can actually use that to your advantage. So it's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly who we were talking to, but it was after a Pro League match in particular. I asked one of the team captains, you know, you rushed 2 or 3 times, etc., and their response was, we know it takes them a while. We know that when they defend this site, they're usually still setting up at this time, and we know that we can take advantage of that by just going through this entry point, because usually they don't have people there. It's a pretty glaring weakness, and that's part of the power of the VOD review. I think people forget how crucial going over and picking apart these strategies are in order to work effectively against the teams. It was something that Liquid did effortlessly in Atlantic City, was they would literally have 3 people drone Neskin, find exactly where there was nobody there, and just send Neskin with 3 drones to kill 1 or 2 people. And by that point, you have such a big advantage that the rest just kind of fits together and you end up winning the round. They won a championship basically off of that strategy by taking out a couple teams.
Yeah. And here we have NIP closing out, this time taking the top floor control quite fast. Actually, they have the aquarium already, the Echo drone is watching the ass, but now there is the guys in the pool table to hold it. So last time Magnet died, but now he's alive, so Fnatic has a better chance to actually hold this.
Psycho's in. Of course, they do have that information available for him. The castle could not, the castle might not be able to make it out of this alive. As you can see, there's a couple defenders actually that are all working their way in, but Aces on that Yokai drone is just going to continuously give information not to peek. Look at how close Fnatic is to Nip at the moment.
So in reality, it's 3.5 guys holding the top floor because there are 3 guys playing, and then there's an Echo giving the information. So this looks way better for Fnatic at the moment, but Sledge is so close getting the kill, and there it goes! Psycho getting the kill to Lasty. Nice headshot with the SMT11. Oh, it's actually PCD.
2 will get down, and yet the castle, the one that they were tracking all along, remarkably still alive, but 2 bodies playing on the cool vibe stairs. That's Rizraz will punish PZD, but Neofighter, the castle who had just scampered off of cool vibe stairs, well, he's not much left at all. Aces and Rizraz last 2 remaining, and that will be Rizraz punished as the Lion does the work himself. Aces last man standing. This Coastline for Fnatic not looking like what it needs to, but we've seen this time and time again on Coastline. If you are winning your defenses, you are in really good shape. Attackers should be running rough sod over the defenders, and that is exactly what is happening with Nip right now as they stretch their lead to 3-1, heading into the final map or the final round, rather, of the first half.
It used to be so easy to hold the sides in Coastline, but now it feels like, for me personally, that the attacks are actually quite easy. We had just practice not a long time ago against one EU team, and we were losing our defenses 1-4, and they actually asked that why we are playing so bad. And then we switched the attack, and it was 5-5 in the end, so yeah.
That's the kind of thing. There's maps that have that. It's not even necessarily just maps, but also sites where it's you as an attacker really should probably be running up the wins. And there's a lot of teams that insist that defending on Coastline is one of the most arduous things to do in this game. It's very painful. It's very tough to do. It's not particularly enjoyable. And you should really, realistically, be running up the score on attack. And that's exactly what's happening, like I said, with NiP right now.
Yeah, exactly. One thing we haven't seen so far is Buck, which is kind of weird because usually when the penthouse defense is being held, like Fnatic is doing right now, you want to bring Buck. Go to the main lobby and shoot the floor under the A-bomb side and the B window, and then be behind the hatch area, so you have pretty easy take to the side after that.
So we do have an update for you, by the way, so close your ears if you don't like spoilers. I hate that I have to keep saying that, but I know people will be unhappy if we just happen to be like, oh, by the way. Mocket just absolutely annihilated G2 on Villa. So now we are all tied up at 1 apiece. Intriguing that G2 would have Villa get through the ban phase unless they were prepared for it. But it was quite a lopsided matchup.
Not actually a surprise for me, because I would say G2 is the best team in EU at the Villa at the moment, but it seems I'm wrong. So
Mocket just absolutely crushed them. I believe it was either a 6-0 or a 6-1, somewhere along those lines. Yeah. But it was very fast. I remember we got I don't know if you heard it, the production comes on and makes a comment being like, okay, G2 won the first map. All right, cool. It seems like moments later they're like, yeah, Mocket won map 2. Okay, that was quick.
And here we go, the penthouse attack starts from the kitchen, so they would want to deny that there's no pulls, no one with the C4 from downstairs to try to kill the Termite or the planter once they finally get the VIP wall open, so taking the downstairs first is quite normal for the attacker.
As you said, if you run a Buck, you want them to be positioned below. A Buck is not a staple operator for Ninjas in Pyjamas. In fact, Buck is not a staple operator for Latin America as a region. They will typically prefer Sledge. Sledge brings a number of things to the table, but one of them is not vertical play, unless you happen to be trying to go from above to below because you don't have what the Skeleton Key provides for you, which is the ability to shoot ceilings above you.
Yeah, it's 200 short. Like, Sledge is easier against Castle, whereas Buck is easier overall, but the weapons are more poor. Psycho takes the first kill to Neohiter, and it was through the floor. Yeah, he made the... No, it was actually in the main lobby. He shot the hatch and killed the guy from the hatch.
Shot the hatch as Neo Fighter was prone on. That was the exact same position Neo was in before, if you recall, playing as a smoke. He had a deployable shield in his way last time, but he also had the ability to C4 when the push came from VIP. That's exactly what he did last time in the one successful round that we saw for Fnatic. And of course, the only defense that Fnatic won was simply literally a war of attrition. They just had one body left alive in the back of Penthouse when 2 members of NiP were inside of, or my apologies, in theater when 2 were alive inside of Penthouse.
Yeah, this is so crucial position for this attack. Holding the window, holding the angles, giving them information for your team that there is one guy still there, because I'm pretty sure he also realized, oh, he's gonna... And there he goes, Psycho gets to kill the Rich Raz, and now it's pretty much easy side take for the NIP, because there's only 2 guys left. They are at the A side, and there comes the Sophia stuns.
It's just really a blast, isn't it? Now, of course, Lusty also concussed. They cannot stop the plant from going down. It will be successful for NiP, and now all NiP needs to do is just hold on, but they will continue to peek and right into Magnet's crosshairs. But Kamikaze will manage to come through the backside of the site, or rather get a kill through the backside of the site as Julio works his way just to try and cover. There's almost no way that Magnet is getting out of this alive, and the first split will go 4-1 in NiP's favor. Now it's incumbent upon Fnatic to run up the score here because NiP only needs 2 successful defenses. That is a tall order on Coastline usually, but today just does not look like Fnatic's day at all. This is a return to form for NiP.
It will come down to the attack so hard. Like, is Fnatic gonna be doing the same as NIP, taking the 4 rounds from an attack, taking this to the OT.
Right.
I would say this is the map to do it. So they have the chance, but I think this is the moment. If Fnatic takes the first round, they will get some motivation boost, but if it's going to be 5-1, it's just, you are going to be so down after that, it's going to be a hard one for Fnatic to climb up from that.
I mean, so if you're Fnatic, you're searching for just a victory of any kind, because since round 4 of Clubhouse, you have put together a grand total of 1 round victories. That's it. That's a long time to go with only 1 win in a round to your name, and that's obviously going to take a moral or a mental toll on a team that we know is very emotional as a team. We know can get demotivated, and as you said, you need that motivation in order to regain that footing.
This is the mind games that you need to do by yourself, because 1-4 in Coastline, it's nothing new. You just need to realize that, okay, we lost 4-1. In most maps, it would be pretty bad situation, but in this map it's quite normal, so just concentrate on your own gameplay, play like you used to, and take those attack rounds and take it by round after round, 1 round at a time.
Intriguing so far that we've only seen Bar and Penthouse get played. Now mind you, that was because Fnatic didn't really need to deal with a site rotation because they weren't winning their defense. The only defensive round they won, Penthouse, they just went to the double bars again the second time. Obviously, Hookah is not a site that we see with any regularity. It is traditionally the least played site by appearance in Pro League, and then of course the same at LAN, but I'm surprised that we haven't seen Kitchen. I wonder how much of that hinges on the fact that there's no Mira available, because Mira of course makes Kitchen so much easier to play off of.
Exactly, Mira is one reason why people want to play Kitchen, but also when you have Maestro, it makes it easier to play that, because you can put one Maestro Eye, Evil Eye to the Kitchen side, you have all the control of that, and then you kind of have one on the Kitchen door, or the freezer door, and you can see that. So yeah, I'm also surprised we haven't seen that, because I actually think it's pretty good side, and there's multiple plays of one playing it. You can play it from the side, or you can open all the walls and play it from the upstairs.
Right. And one of the things that Clubhouse has going for it is that almost every single site has so much destruction, not just linear, but also vertical, as well. You're going to see Psycho get very aggressive as the Echo and completely throw his utility to waste as Magnet is on Repel and doesn't even take a single bit of damage. But Julio with a double run out, a big play to take out Rizraz and Lusty before Neofighter can trade him off. But you take out the Hard Breacher, the sole Hard Breacher that Fnatic has available for them, as well as the Zofia. A gamble by Julio that I think is very well worth it.
Exactly. Once you kill the Hibana, there's no way for them to open up the VIP, so you need to come from the doorways, which are quite easy to hold when you have those ACOGs on 3 defenders still left alive.
Now, Neofighter right there just showed a great bit of impatience. You had PZD who's lying prone. You could have lined up that shot a lot easier, but he didn't take his time. He just started firing haplessly, and PZD, who was overhealed, just takes a little bit of damage, but that could have been a confirmed kill for Fnatic, most of whom are currently on Repel as we hit the final minute. Magnet has worked his way into Hall of Fame, trying to see if he can connect with the Doc. He'll get drawn out by Neofighter, but Kamikaze will pop up, and that's the double ACOG of these 2 GIGN operators from PZD and Kamikaze getting put to good use.
He should have never been able to rotate there to take the re-kill, because they had the guy on the window. Why wasn't he holding it? And now Kamikaze takes a nice double head. Nice round from Kamikaze, taking 3 kills in the end.
And this is match point and series point for NiP, who will take the defensive round and do so without barely breaking a sweat. They got very aggressive. They took the Echo out of action real early on. Fnatic were in great shape, but then Julio with the run out to take out the Hard Breacher, as well as the Zofia, which is just a ton of gadgetry that will no longer be available for you. Though all those reinforcements, they're going to stay fine. All the possible headaches that those 4 concussive mines and the 2 lifeline explosive grenades can give you, gone.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it just looked like Fnatic was demotivated, as you said. You've got them crouch walking through the open spaces. Obviously, the weight of this match taking its toll. And NiP is just thriving on it. You could see the elation and enthusiasm as, of course, they celebrate the fact that they are 1 round away from facing the winner of G2 versus Maka.
before when you know that there is only one heart breacher on the team, that they have been banning Termite or Hibana, in this case not, but if it is that situation, you kill the heart breacher. The thing that I want to see the most from the IGLs is to actually call to the guys that have the barbed wire, take all your barbed wire, gather it together, and put it to all the entrance points, because there's no way to come through the walls. It happens really rarely, but it's like it's almost instant once you do it, because when you have all those barbed wires lined up, there's no way you're coming through that.
Especially if you've taken the Zofia out, because of course she can use 2 of those grenades to blow open the barbed wire. Now, of course, the real way to take out that barbed wire is just going to be to knife it twice, but it's all about wasting time at that point and making them have to wade through a sea of the razor wire, which will slow down their push.
And now we finally see the kitchen. We don't have the mirror, but we do have the maestro, and it's pegged. So the evil eye placements are going to be huge, and there goes one. It's actually straight there where normally you have the mirror window, so it's just watching the freezer doorway.
Just a nice Italian substitute on Mira's home map, of course. And all the destructibility. This is something that we've actually seen G2 do a number of times, and a couple teams will ape this strategy, is that they will completely open up kitchen. Because you don't have the mirror available, you basically just make it so the whole site has no real walls and very little floors and ceiling for you.
Yeah. If you play from the upstairs, especially from the luggage area or aquarium hallway, you have pretty much the sight line to the whole kitchen area, except like the one table in the corner. So if someone jumps in from the window, walks through from the door, you get easy shots to those guys. So it's a common strategy to do it by that. Open up all the walls.
So you've got PZD once again with the ACOG playing from above. He'll sustain about 30 damage, but he'll just heal himself back up. Here's the biggest issue, is that he's going to be revealed by the Lion, and you've got 2 people from Fnatic hunting you down. But once again, Kamikaze, the double GIGN ACOG combo, as he's trying to hold off. He just narrowly misses one before Magnet is able to push into VIP and get the kill to take out the 2 thick boys of both Doc and Rook. However, there's still 2 more to go, and both Vogue and Julio running the Maestro Echo combo, and Psycho, of course, doesn't look like he had his cloaking device on, but that drone could have possibly gone by, and they could have missed the Vigil. However, the Dokkaebi of Magnet hears the K1A go off and knows that he can't begin to hack the cams because he will be vulnerable for that period of time. Psycho will return a couple bullets back towards Fnatic, but they'll basically buy some time here with the final EE1D, and Magnet looking to try to push the Vigil, but 2 from Nip. They had no business getting those kills whatsoever, but Lusty and Neofighter will be removed from action. And what is going on? Magnet gone. Psycho with the SMG-12 will spray with Reckless Abandon, and that is that huge magazine. A minute to go, and there is 1 member of Fnatic left. Aces will
again with wallbang. Again, 3rd time.
Aces with a good game sense here to be able to take out the Vigil, but it's a 2v1, and this is series point for Nip. They are in great position.
Yeah, it's 2 versus 1 against Lion. That's the only thing going for them, but he doesn't have any things left, and Wack takes the kill. So GG NIP, nice game taking out Fnatic 6-1 in Coastline.
6-3 and 6-1, so some progress being made, but all Fnatic has to show are the 4 rounds that they took against an adversary that they have matched up against before. Nip will join the 2 teams that we've already seen at their victories earlier today, but I won't spoil it because I know people don't like spoilers. A rough day for Fnatic, a rough day for the Australians. So there we have it.